Hi. So, a little bit more zoomed in than I want to today. This is the best place for lighting in the entire house, it seems, because I work my magic. I don't have one of those special lights that these perfect YouTubers have, so, I wanted to try my hand at a positive video because I know a lot of my videos are extremely sad, pitiful, depressing. I feel like my only escape really from all of that is laughter. And I know the cliche about it being the best medicine, obviously. But truly, it's one of the only escapes I feel I have. My partner and I, before we were injured actually, not as much that I want to live in the past or anything, but that was the biggest thing between us, was we could always make each other laugh and laugh hysterically to tears, to the point where one of us is like crying, stop. And in the last month or so, we've been getting back to that point of being able to laugh like that again. It wasn't like our humor was gone over the summer or anything like that, but it just, with his injury to his head and me being physically so incapacitated and having to go through surgery, it wasn't like we were having the best time. But since we worked things out again, we're definitely try our best to be happy, even if things in our life are really slowly coming together, but not so much like with everything that we need. But it's more like one of those things, well, in time, with patience, you know, things can get better. But overall, the best thing that we have with each other is, well, we read the Bible together, and we read devotionals together from that go along with the Bible. And we also have our laughter. And there's times when, you know, because we're Christians, we are always, you know, saying, forgive me, God, for this sense of humor and whatnot. But there's some things that obviously our old selves are really coming out. And we mean no harm to anybody, that's for sure. But we definitely like to laugh and be happy together. I mean, who doesn't? I find that when I'm by myself, though, I don't really laugh at too much or anything. Every now and then I'll find a video on YouTube where like something will take me by surprise, and it's usually CinemaSins, but it seems like I don't really laugh unless I'm with another person. And I'm not sure if that's like because I'm really, really depressed and full of anxiety, or if it's the PTSD that kind of like shuts that down. But I noticed this a few years ago, and okay, so like I want this to be a positive video, but I also want this to be a bit educational from my standpoint, what I know and what I'm trying to understand about myself. So a few years ago, when I had my first, and I should stop saying a few years ago, it was 6 years ago that I had my first head injury, where so much of me changed physically and mentally, but a lot of physical stuff. I would have crying spells and laughing fits for no reason, and that's an actual condition that I've read about a couple times, but it usually happens to people who have had severe, like massive head trauma and or strokes. But I show a lot of those symptoms because my crying spells and episodes are the most inconvenient and excessive, and they are they're worrisome to me. I'm amazed that I can hold back a lot of that stuff when I'm watching a video. But then on the opposite side, I have had laughing fits, not as much as the crying ones, but the laughing fits to the point of crying and feeling like a lot of pressure and pain in my face. And it intimidates me to laugh, and sometimes it makes me concerned, obviously, to cry, but only because of the excess that I'm crying. It gets old. It really is exhausting to be like that, especially because I cry when I eat. And nobody wants to feel miserable while they're eating. Just like you don't want to laugh when you're eating because you want to choke on your food. Well, you don't want to cry because you don't want to choke on your food either. And you also just don't want to feel miserable while you're trying to nourish your body, obviously. So that's just something that I've been extremely aware of. But it's not all bad. I do have excessive anxiety that is really taking a toll on me, but looking forward to some things. Tomorrow I go to school, and I should do more pre-testing and practicing, and really I can't take this math class that I'm supposed to be, but other than that, I'm doing good in everything else other than math. I should be getting my diploma. I know I'm 25 and it's about time to do that. I would really like to continue on. I wanted to be a custodian. I also, at one point, really wanted to be a mortician, but in New England, there's a lot of family-owned businesses that it's really hard to intern into. Custodial business I wanted to do because I really like to clean and I like to be alone. And I don't mind running into people, like fleeting moments, but I don't like having to work in a like fast-paced, high-energy place that's filled with a bunch of other people. I'm not really for that at all. But on the opposite hand, I really do want to work with people. But, and as morbid as this is to some people, it's always a necessity. You know, wanting to be a mortician, I wanted to take care of dead bodies, but I'd also really like to work in hospice care, which I found that there's a program where, you know, you can become a CNA, and the only thing you can't do in hospice is, as a CNA, would be to distribute medication. But that's really not something I want to do anyways, but to take care of people who are in the end times of their life, that's something that really appeals to me, because it takes somebody with a really good heart, I would say. I really have a hard time with speech quite often. As much as I love to talk and as much as I love making videos, I am horrible with speech and proper English, and I don't know why that is, even though I love to write and I love to talk and I love to sing, but I'm not good at any of those things. And yet I keep trying. Some days it's frustrating, but I really want to keep trying. I always wanted to be also like on the side to go and talk to people at like schools or something like that. But with my inability to speak properly, I hesitate a lot, and I've never really gotten through any good job interviews or anything like that because I am full of anxiety and depression, and I'm not able to fake myself into pretending to give a shit about certain things, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that I don't care about getting a career, because that's what I care about. But I've never really, unfortunately, cared too much about getting jobs where the people hiring you in the first place don't really give a shit who you are. Nobody can ever say my name right. So I've been going by a different name because people can't say my birth name right, even though it's so easy. But I still despise my name anyways. It's frustrating, but I keep saying it's not all bad. There's a lot. Me and my partner are thinking about moving, as well as something else pretty major, but we will see in time. I really need things to start smoothing over. I don't have as much structure as I'd like to, but I definitely need it in order to get through school and get the career that I hope that I can have. And I hope that I deserve to have, especially if I work hard enough to get it.